Hello, and welcome to round 2 of the Parenting Roundabout podcast. I'm Catherine Haleko, and I'm here with Terry Morrow. Say hi, Terry.
Hello.
Usually on this podcast, we talk about parenting issues, but once a week, Terry and I like to get together to discuss TV, movies, books, and other entertainment topics because it's nice to talk about something other than parenting for a change. So this week, we continued our Good Place and West Wing watches. But first, Dancing with the Stars. Halloween night, so
Yes.
the night where the hair and makeup people get to go even more crazy than they do on a regular Monday night. So
Yes.
I do enjoy that part of it quite a bit. It's fun to see what they do.
Yeah, I liked a lot of the dances. It was the judges scoring and comments as usual. Okay. It's like everybody made some mistakes so that they have an excuse not to give 10s. So, fine. Okay. I thought James and Emma's dance was fantastic. I really liked it. Although maybe we're a little bit off in timing a few times, but the drama of it was so good. And it was so well enacted. And the concept of it was so nice. And, that was probably my favorite of the night. But I thought everybody did well enough, according to their ability. I thought some of the scores were high. I thought some of the scores were low. So, typical night on Dancing with the Stars.
That's right.
But, it really seemed to me that the theme of the night was, get rid of Sean Knight. That they, everybody else got high scores. He got low scores. And they, especially in the judges' commentary to the second group dance, they were sort of openly dissing him. Yes, when she was in, talking about how, Lindsay is counting him through stuff loudly, which, yes, she is. But you know what? I see the other female pros' mouths moving when they're when they're dancing. He's not the only one that has somebody counting for him. Right. So it's, personally, he's definitely the worst dancer there, and I would not mind if he went home on any given week. But there's other people I wouldn't mind if they went home on any given week, and who I don't care if I see another dance from or not. So,
Yeah. Well, I was, it got down at the end to Kate and Karamo, and I had liked Karamo just fine, but when it was down to the two of them, I was like, oh no, please let Kate stay.
I'm gonna give Carrie Ann the benefit of the doubt that she picked Karamo just to make some drama, because I don't think that there's any basis for that. He's been consistently low scored and not a judge's favorite, and Kate's been consistently liked. So, and I don't quite see a big turn in his abilities, although he got great scores on Halloween night because almost everybody got great scores.
Yeah, right. And to be honest, Kate's tonight was not my favorite.
No, I agree.
So that's too bad, but I'm glad that didn't result in her having to be sent home.
Yes, fortunately.
Because I really enjoy watching her. She's so much fun.
I do very much too, and I enjoy watching Pasha, and Len enjoys watching Pasha, so it was pretty clear who was going to get his vote, so thankfully. But, if you just can relax and enjoy it as 2 hours of entertainment, I thought it was pretty entertaining.
Yes, I agree.
If you're into all the drama of it, maybe not so entertaining. The thing that honestly that I like least about Sean hanging on week after week is that it makes all the commentary groups I follow for this, the chat groups and the posts and all that, it makes it just miserable because it's all just, this is just like Bobby Bones. So, and it's like, then I feel like I want to defend Bobby, and it's like, oh, well, I'm just going to check out. But that's like always been part of the fun of it for me, is reading everybody else's comments, and now it's just all sourness. So,
Well, it's a bummer that, for me, it's more, since I'm not as into the chat rooms, the following along as you. For me, it's just taking up somebody else's spot. I
guess. But
that's the part that bums me out.
Yeah. in as much as it's a game, it's really not somebody else's spot. It's whoever's spot plays that part of the game the best, I guess.
Right.
And
I like Lindsay, so.
Yes, I do. And, she's earning her money, that girl.
Jesus.
So. But, it's easy for me to say this until somebody I really like gets knocked off, so.
Right.
There's 3 or 4 people who...
you still have room.
Yes, there's still room, but they seem to be doing well, too, so. We'll see. I'm willing to just relax and be entertained by it, whatever happens. I'm hoping that I'm able to do that.
Yeah, and like you said, all these Halloween ones were very entertaining.
They were.
And really, largely very well done, and, it's fun when it's a big production, even though it's faffing about. It's still, it's fun to watch most of the time.
Yes, it is. And, the team dances were fun to see them all working together. It was interesting, always in the past, as long as I've been watching, the team dances have included something for each couple to have a little featured bit. Mm-hmm. And they didn't do it this time. Instead, this time they did a bit where all the stars danced together.
Right.
Which was kind of fun. It was kind of a nice change, although I like it the other way too. So I wonder if that was apparently a deliberate change.
Well, yeah, and Kate really held her own, being the only female star in her group, so she had to be sort of compared to Lindsay and Whitney and Jenna. So,
who are, in addition to being all pros, are all extremely tiny women.
Tiny people, yes.
And it's not like Kate is the Hulk, but she's less tiny. Right. So she really stuck out to some degree. Mm-hmm. But she did fine. Yeah. I enjoy her. I find her a very enjoyable presence, and she seems very positive, and she seems to be so appreciative of her pro. And, I do kind of wish the teams had gotten divided up a little more evenly in gender.
Right.
But...
Right, then you wouldn't have had that situation. So.
Yeah. I don't know why it wound up that way, but...
'Cause, Terry, it was all random.
Yeah. Yeah, that was speaking of, entertainment. That was, I think, part of it. But I don't know. Could be.
Yes.
But, good luck to all of them. And did you vote, even though you...
I did
you
vote.
Were late? You did? Good for you.
I voted before I watched anything. Because I was out and I knew I'd be driving, at the last minute. So I did take care of the voting before.
Very good.
I came home.
Yes.
So.
I often vote before I see the dances anyway, because I know who I want to stick around. Yeah. So it's unless it's difficult to think of anything that could happen that would make me want to rescind my vote.
Absolutely not. I take back them all.
Yes, especially this time, since you can give all your votes to a number of people. You don't have to divide them.
Exactly, yeah.
So when there's dividing to do, then you sort of have to see everything in case somebody does really bad. In this case, it's 10 votes for you, 10 votes for you, 10
for everyone.
For you. Come back next week, won't you?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. It's another week of Dancing with the Stars.
That's right.
We shall continue watching. And like all the people who every week say, "That's it, I'm done.
I'm done with this show." We'll be back. So from Halloween night, we descend to the bad place. Yes. Because over on the good place, the show, Michael and Jason went to the bad place to rescue Janet, which... they really accomplished very easily, if you ask me.
I agree.
It was all they had to do was use the demon exploder tool a couple times, and boom, they were just on their merry way.
That is one of those things that's like an absurd convenience.
Right.
That this happens to exist.
Right.
Oh, I know. We'll have this weapon that they can't defend against or whatever. That happens to have been introduced in the previous episode. But whatever, right. I'm just as glad they're out.
Yes, me too. And it was an enjoyable episode with some funny parts and some... on the podcast, Jamila Jamil was on, and she talked a lot about Tahani on this episode because there was a lot of Tahani plot where she was trying to do more and contribute more to the effort than throwing parties. That's all I do is throw parties. So that was nice, I thought.
Yeah, I wish there had been a clue earlier that she was having this great existential crisis about parties. I don't know, maybe it happened when she was bonding with the gossip guy or whatever, but it did seem to come a teensy bit out of the blue.
Right. Like the demon exploder.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, the one thing about the demon exploder is that at least that wasn't their plan and Jason just happened to have it. And so it could be a bit of a surprise that way.
Right.
And of course, Jason would be the one to gain control of an item that blows stuff up. So it's in character.
Yes, it is.
Right in his bailiwick.
Absolutely.
So, and poor Chidi. I guess, so apparently it is possible to completely restore the memories. I mean, I know Michael had done that with Eleanor before, and now he says he's done it to Tahani too, and then he does it to Jason. So theoretically, once this experiment is over, they can just give Chidi back all his memories, right?
True.
Which sort of turns the tragic romance knob down quite a bit. Because
you're right.
It can be undone. I did not think of that.
I did not either. You're quite right.
Until, Michael's just randomly giving memories back to people.
Right.
I don't think that was ever established.
He may have regretted giving them to Jason.
That's right, although Jason just forgot them all again, so
yes.
He's probably going to have to repeat that a few times. But I'm glad they were able to get in. I have such anxiety about this season. After I've watched and everything's okay, I really enjoy it. It's like I'm going to have to watch this season again when I know the end.
Yeah.
And then I think I will enjoy it a lot better. But I'm just constantly waiting for bad things to happen that I'm not going to like.
You're a cheaty.
I am a cheaty, exactly. It's my inner cheaty is tweaked by all of this stuff that's going on.
Right.
So I was, worried that terrible things would happen to them in the bad place. But yes, they fairly snappily got over it. And I guess immediately convinced Janet that they were the real guys. There was no Janet torture going on. But of course, even with magnets, I guess Janet's pretty sharp.
Yes. And they answered the question of how the fake good place is being held together by Derek in Janet's absence.
That's unfortunate.
I do enjoy the runner of Derek always holding a glass of something that is not a beverage. This time it was Scrabble tiles. And it's been all different things over the season. So that's fun.
So Jason Mantzoukas must have like a season contract because they seem to work him into every episode whether he needs to be there or not. I guess he kind of needed to be here for this one, but they could just as well have come up with some other explanation.
Right.
Derek is Dereking his way through the season. Mindy is nowhere to be found.
I know. We really have not seen her at all. She made herself scarce when
Mindy
they all took over.
Taken her, her CDs and warm beer and gone off to some shack someplace.
Right.
But that's a little weird.
They could have let her sort of enjoy life in the simulated good place in exchange for taking over her territory the way they did.
That is a weird problem of this season in that people just go missing for no reason. Other than that, clearly they weren't contracted for that episode.
Right.
While other people who one might expect to see in their company are there. So
yes.
That's a problem. A little bit of a distraction. But
yes.
But still, at the end of every episode I'm satisfied and wondering what on earth they're going to do the following week.
Right. And as Jamila Jamil says, no one will guess what the ending is.
Yes, that did not fill me with confidence, actually. It's like,
really?
Oh, God, it's something I haven't thought about yet. What is it going to be?
Just another layer of worry.
Presumably something good.
Yes.
One would hope.
Well, Well, that was her something good on the podcast.
That's right.
The end of the show.
We will hold out hope that nothing terrible happens between now and then. And you were right. You were right to have observed when I was worried that Vicky might be imitating somebody there, that Vicky was not that good of an actress. So kudos to you.
All those times that Ted Danson had to play Vicky playing Michael was quite excellent.
Pretty fun. So. Yes. So she would not have been able to pull it off.
So, well, shall we move on then?
Speaking of rewarding patience.
Yeah.
How many seasons did it take for Josh and Donna to finally smooch?
Right. This episode is called The Cold, but it might as well be called The Kiss.
Exactly.
Because that's all anyone wants to talk about. The fact that Josh and Donna kiss, like, in the cold open.
Yes.
You know, it happens before the show even really starts.
In the cold open. The cold.
Good one.
Yes. Aww. So that happened.
And, you know, then they sort of dance around it for the rest of the episode.
They spend the rest of the episode being mildly chagrined.
Right. But not regretful, right?
No. Just sort of like, well, I think Josh felt like, is this an inappropriate workplace contact? And then Donna was kind of wondering if it was. And then the conversation with Will is very cute, including Will saying, it's Josh. You're
right. I'll tell you mine if you tell me yours. And he's like, I already know yours. So
Josh, you're not subtle. So it's like, apparently everybody they work for also has been, oh, come on.
Right.
Are you kidding me?
Everybody can see this from a mile away. Guys.
As Donna herself said to Josh, it's bound to happen sometime. So,
finally have.
So we're sort of left unsure of where things are going, and I won't spoil anything, but I don't think it would be much of a spoiler. Sort of like, what is the outcome of this election going to be?
Right.
But, Donna tried to slip him her key.
That
didn't work out, so but as they mentioned on the podcast, he knows where her room is, and could probably just go knock on the door.
Yeah, exactly.
Although he looks sort of horrified at the prospect, sort of both wanting to and not wanting to have to deal with this additional stressor in this heated campaign.
It's like 3 weeks before the election. It's really not the best timing.
It's a good time for a meaningless fling. It's not a good time for something that's been 7 years in the making to finally, with all its repercussions, deliver itself to your thoughts. Oh, well, so. I wonder what will happen. We shall see.
Well, we'll just have to wait and see.
At least he doesn't have to figure out what to do with a padded envelope with her bra in it, as Will does.
I know.
And Will and Kate keep saying how bad they are at doing this, and I'm thinking, yeah, you know what? And the writers aren't so great at it either. It's like, would this really happen?
Because it's
honestly. In the Sorkin universe.
Just give her the envelope. Like, what exactly is the problem?
In the Sorkin universe, there seems to be a pattern of people losing garments in the course of trysts. How difficult is it to collect your clothing?
Right.
And how far distributed is it that you might miss something? Mm-hmm. It made me think of You're Wearing My Shirt, Gordon, from Sports Night.
Right.
How do you leave without your shirt?
Uh-huh. Exactly.
And then people leaving underwear in art galleries or whatever. And there's just sort of seems to be amusing that garments wind up.
Although this was not Sorkin, but
this was it's Sorkin adjacent. It's trying to be Sorkin, faux Sorkin. In I think in cases like this where you have amusing workplace banter around a romance.
Mm-hmm. Right.
It's hard to say about Kate Harper because she's extremely efficient in some ways, but she can't seem to manage her hair or her clothing. But she seems like the kind of girl who'd be able to find her bra when she was leaving. Maybe not, then again. Maybe that's why her shirts look so inappropriate. It's like, I left my bra somewhere. I don't know where it is. Oh, Kate.
And hasn't she been married multiple times?
This is the person you want to put in charge of sensitive military things. She can't locate her undergarments, but she can manage global nuclear crises. Excellent. Right. I feel secure. But I do very much enjoy the fact that they're having this little clandestine office romance.
Yeah.
And that he's talking about it with Donna without saying who.
Right. But he did say it's classified, which is quite clever.
Exactly. Yes.
You know why he said it. So.
That was very funny. That was a nice callback. But, so, all in all, an enjoyable episode. Oh, poor Vinnick. You know, I know we shouldn't feel sorry for him because we're supposed to be psyched that Santos is resurgent, but, you know, man's got a cold. His most trusted aide is leaving him self-sacrificingly, so you can't even complain about it. And, you know, he's going to have to run a campaign that is not the campaign that he wanted to run. And you got to feel for the guy.
Yes, and they did kind of lay it on thick at the end.
Yes.
Like getting out of the car. All alone.
In the cold.
In the dark.
In the cold with a cold.
In the cold with a cold, yes.
In the episode called The Cold. It's just all sorts of layers. Layers upon layers. Patricia Richardson is so wonderful. I really like her. I feel like we haven't had her enough, really. And now she's theoretically leaving. So, you know.
But she'll be on the phone, she says.
Yeah. 24 hours a day.
I think that means we'll never see her again.
I'm trying to remember. I know there's at least one episode that she's in, but I won't say when it falls in the sequence of episodes. But she saves Bruno, except now Bruno's going to also have to do a campaign he doesn't want to do, with knowing that they wanted to get rid of him with this chick who I automatically don't like.
Me neither.
Yes, she seems quite pleased with herself.
Yeah,
I bet she never leaves bras behind. I bet she knows exactly where all her bras are.
Yes, I would say.
Yes.
That's
no padded envelopes in the workplace. She takes them with her.
Right. She's got that locked down. All right. Well, so next week, we are not going to see what happens next with the campaign because we are going to skip a week on the West Wing just to stay aligned with the West Wing Weekly podcast. Right. But, of course, we will continue with the two currently airing shows, which are Dancing with the Stars, Dance Off Night, and the next episode of The Good Place, which is called A Chip Driver Mystery.
Oh, my.
Sounds like it's going to be Brent-centric with that title.
Could well be. Yes, it does sound like that. See, when I hear chip, I automatically think either computer or potato, but chip driver would be golf, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yes. That's my thought. But
yes, I think you are correct.
So
I feel very much like Jason in making that observation about chips, but oh, dip.
Exactly.
Anyway.
Perfect. Okay, well, that'll be it for our round 2 today. Please subscribe to our Parenting Roundabout podcast so you won't miss any of our episodes. We have something new for you every weekday. As always, you can find recaps, links, and an opportunity to comment on our website at parentingroundabout.com. Goodbye, Terry.
Goodbye, Catherine.
Bye, everyone.